Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about Ripley and just how talented he is. Wow, what a fun opening line. He combined the thing with the other thing. Anyway, roll the thing.
Tom what?
Ripley.
Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I have to address the elephant in the room. I'm ashamed to admit, I did not know this was a remake of the talented Mr. Ripley starring Matt Damon and Jude Law. And furthermore, that movie was based on the true source material, a novel. So here I am, learning new things every day. Now that that's out of the way, we can all be friends again. This particular version comes from the mind of Steven Zaillian, who is a very prominent writer in his own right amongst the Hollywood ranks, writing screenplays for Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, collaborating with Aaron Sorkin, Kenneth Lonergan. He knows how to put pen to paper. This particular version of Ripley stars Andrew Scott, Dakota Fanning, and Johnny Flynn. Andrew Scott, whom I think is absolutely fantastic in just about everything he does, ranging from his role as Moriarty in Sherlock to the cool priest in Fleabag Season 2, and now with this role as Tom Ripley. Alongside him, we have Dakota Fanning playing Marge Sherwood and Johnny Flynn playing Dickie Greenleaf. We find Tom in episode 1 living a life of petty crime in New York City. He's roughing it. He's got a small apartment, the bare essentials. He's a floater until a wealthy man comes a-callin'. That is the last time I will say comes a-callin', I promise you that. This wealthy man who called Tom presents him with an offer to bring his artsy-fartsy wayward son home from Europe. And Tom, like a true con artist, is like, what's in it for me? I hardly knew him. Oh, you're going to pay me that much. I'll go right now. So Ripley ventures to Europe to meet up with Dakota Fanning and Johnny Flynn. And chaos ensues. And I won't spoil it here because it's still a little fresh on the Netflix lineup. But I will say that the bread and butter of this show, first of all, is Andrew Scott. My gosh, does a phenomenal job, inhabits this character. We believe that he is Ripley. And he does a really great job. I don't know what it is about him, but he plays these kind of shady characters, like a Moriarty, like a Ripley. He has that ability to just have that mystique about him and the characters that he's playing. I hope he gets nominated for an Emmy or Golden Globe for this show. Dakota Fanning as Marge and Johnny Flynn as Dickie are also fantastic. It's beautifully shot as well. The cinematography is very atmospheric. It conveys all the subtle nuances that occur in Ripley's interactions with people and in the surrounding settings like Atrani and Rome. It's all in black and white, which is difficult to pull off certain shots, and Steven Zaillian does it. He directs every episode of this series, and in my opinion, does a masterful job. There is a scene in this series where, and this isn't really a spoiler, but Tom Ripley is attempting to sink a boat, and for what seems like 3 to 5 minutes, there's no dialogue, but it's one of the most captivating scenes in this particular episode. And what keeps it so suspenseful and intriguing and entertaining is 1, the performance by Andrew Scott, and 2, the direction and the writing of this particular scene. Very difficult to pull off a one-man scene like this with no dialogue, and they do it. And one of my favorite things about the character of Tom Ripley is that he's not some super genius. He makes mistakes, and we notice these mistakes along the way, and we're kind of thinking and fretting for him. He leaves little breadcrumbs behind, and we think, this is going to do it. Like, this is how he's going to get caught. Because, he's human. He doesn't catch everything. He's a one-man crew, and he probably thinks more highly of himself than he really should. Even in dialogue with the other characters, he slips up multiple times, and at those moments, you're like, oh, is this when, the whole thing falls apart? And it's interesting to see this unfold. And the whole series has this sort of noir, sort of cozy feel to it that I like, especially with the setting of Atrani. And the music and the culture of the location really shines through in this series. The show is more of a slow burn. It really takes off at episode 3. So if you start this series and you're finding it difficult to get through episodes 1 and 2, those are the character building episodes. And I promise you it will pay off. Just stick with it. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Steven Zaillian on the awards circuit got nominated for writing or directing, or if the cinematographer Robert Elswit, who won the Oscar for Best Cinematography for There Will Be Blood, I would not be surprised if he got nominated in the awards circuit as well. So I recommend Ripley. I give it about an 8 out of 10. Get through the first 2 episodes and the series really takes off after that. A lot of the suspense and intrigue is in watching how Tom sort of navigates through all of the lies and deceit that he starts to build through the episodes. And he has to remember this web of lies in order to protect himself. And he definitely gets lucky on several occasions. It's like the old expression, you'd rather be lucky than good. And he's good in some ways, but not in all ways, by any means. And so he needs luck. And if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, the ending may not be what you expect. It was a good series, well acted, well written, well shot, and I think well worth your time. But if you've seen Ripley already, let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the show. And if you like this video, go ahead and show some love, give the video a like, and as always, please subscribe to the channel for more content. And I hope to see you in the next video.